science, business expert, author,
Learn great knowledge and wisdom, science, business, consciousness, health, nature, self-care, existence, passion, purpose, and much more.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Welcome back to the channel of the Nature King. Today's video will be talking about everything about meditation in a brief session. I don't want to keep you guys too long, but I'll tell you about the power of meditation, types of meditation, the benefits of meditation, the science of meditation, and the spiritual side of meditation. So I formulated a lot of great notes for you guys. So we know that, like, for many, meditation is a void of spirituality, religion, traditions, and other sitting postures. It is simply focusing your mind on something, either externally or internally, and calming the mind. These are several forms of meditation and can be negative or positive thinking, constantly intertwining and interacting through perception to our environment and our thoughts. Now, since we think and create as humans with our mind, it is best to use the focus, whether that's externally or internally, to our benefit. And it can be on thoughts and objects, learning, emotions, habits, health, bodily sensations, and etc. Meditation can be for everyone, and it's not something that only like monks can do, or elite spiritual leaders can do, or elite science or doctors can do. Anyone can essentially do a meditation practice. And it isn't all about like God or higher power, all that type of stuff. It's simply, creating a life that, you feel more present, and you feel, a boost in your mood and a boost in your sense of happiness and joy. You can choose one that resonates with you. I know many people, when they see meditation, they see like how my legs are crossed right now, and they see like you're just in Zen mode, all that. It isn't necessarily that. I've done a video on this about over a year ago. It isn't about all that. It can be anything that keeps you in the present moment, where you focus on something either externally or internally, and you become fully immersed in something. So that can be through the form of thinking, concentration, focus, mindfulness, exercise, visualization, external nature. It can be anything that it can be. It doesn't just have to be some mindfulness or looking inward or focusing on your thoughts and your intrusive thoughts and sitting in certain postures and trying to be like a monk or a yogi. It doesn't have to be any of those things. It can be literally anything that you want it to be. When it comes to focusing, this form of meditation is about concentrating on an external or internal object to silence the mind, to have inner peace, to ground yourself, and to observe certain patterns. So when it comes to focus, like some people, for example, if you have certain levels of anxiety or obsessiveness or any type of these type of mental illnesses or disorders or whatever you want to call it, not here to get into the deviations of different mental health issues. But if you have a certain level of, not normal anxiety, so it's like more than average, like severe levels of anxiety and obsessiveness and other things like that, you kind of not, how I say this, you wouldn't want to do the focus inward meditation. Now, when it comes to focus inward, yes, you can have a certain level of body awareness, mind awareness. You could have, times where you face your thoughts, you face the discomfort, you face emotions, you get mental clarity, you practice self-awareness. That is vital, but you want to do that to a certain degree. Remember, too little or too much of anything is always bad. You kind of want to be close to the middle with anything, especially for people with, certain levels of anxiety. Now, I'm not some type of doctor, but I do have a lot of history with psychology, neuroscience, biology. And I got a lot of information from neuroscientists, and I'm well read and well researched and well watched. So I understand a lot of these certain topics as well. So you guys could also, check out some more videos, some more tips on how, you can live your best life. But coming back to the focus aspect, you wouldn't want to focus, because if you're already a person who's already anxious, obsessive, when it comes to your internal environment, doing a meditation will just make it worse. So if you're a person already anxious about your thoughts, you overthink a lot, if you do a meditation where you focus on your thoughts, it's literally going to make you less happy, more stressed. So in that situation, you want to decrease the level of focusness inward and do it at a moderate level that you can sustain and manage, and then practice things that are external. So for example, if you're a person struggling with certain levels of anxiety, obsessiveness, overthinking, you would then want to say, I need to probably do some visualization, some EMDR and ERP like type of therapies. You probably need to do try exercising and working out or dancing, movement of your body. You probably want to do focused meditation on an external object that can keep you, or probably doing art, drawing, painting, being fully immersed in like a current work that you're doing and not being in the past or in the future longer than you need to be, and or just taking a walk in nature, or just sitting out in nature, or focusing on the sun or on the river or on the beach, or on an animal. Things like that would be beneficial for someone from an external point of view rather than internal point of view. And then if you're a person where you have low, you would want to focus on that internal. Now, if you're a person, you're a well-balanced person, your brain type is well-balanced, you're relatively healthy, and then the type of person you have is, easygoing, manageable, balanced type person, then you can heavily go into either side. Like me, I'm more in the middle, I would say, so I can easily do the focus inward meditation. I can do the focus outward meditation because I have a certain level of stability in my brain and in my mental health where I can handle it. Now you gotta distinguish which side you go on and try what works for you. But when it comes to the focus meditation, that's usually how that's the breakdown of it. Most people would just try to force one type on someone or just force internal on someone. But you gotta try what works for you, and you gotta understand how your brain works and how your personality is. Now, with the thinking, we understand that when you actually do understand your thoughts, like, yes, it is great to filter out intrusive thoughts. It's great to think positive, do affirmations. All that is beneficial, but the most beneficial thing is to not forcing it and just letting the thoughts come and just letting the thoughts go, letting the thoughts flow, and then sitting with those thoughts and allowing yourself to be present in the moment. When you are in present, fully immersed into an activity, whether that be sleep, whether that be a social interaction with a person you love, or you just connecting with, whether that be like you in the beach soaking up the sun in nature, whether you're working, whether you're in class or in school, whatever that may be fully immersed in it, fully present to it, and that can also help with those intrusive thoughts or those negative thought patterns as well. Visualization is basically creating illustrations and pictures in the mind, helping create a unique reality to help your mood, your behavior, and your body and your overall health. Now, I'm not saying live in a fantasy land or try to be out of touch with reality or out of body. I'm basically saying that, for example, like if you're just sitting here, you can try the EMDR therapy, or you can it basically just means you just visualize something in your head with certain techniques. But for now, so let's just say you're sitting. So let's say you just close your eyes and then you imagine yourself just, and you can try it with me. So imagine we're on a beach. The trees are dancing slowly. The wind is blowing calmly, and you feel that nice cool breeze on your skin. You feel the warmth of the sun. You feel the sun shining. You hear the birds chirping. You see the fishes swimming, the dolphins jumping in and out of the water, seeming to be in a happy mood. You feel you're feeding the sand while you lay down. The weather is nice, and you can hear the sounds of the waves crashing, and the sounds so blissful. The brown noise of everything around you helps you to, be present, and you're fully immersed. You're living in this nice tropical beach paradise, and you are at peace. So I hope you guys, you actually sat there and did it with me. So that made me feel like I was on the beach, for example. That's an example of visualization, because you're not physically at the beach or physically in nature, engaged in your physical senses. But since you are visualizing in your mind, you kind of able to feel those sensations. So even though you aren't there, you're kind of feeling like, I actually feel like the sun is shining on me, or I actually hear the waves, or I actually see it, but I'm doing all that in my mind. So we know the mind is powerful. So that's a form of visualization that you could recommend, like a place that was safe, or you feel powerful in, or like, you just enjoy. You want to picture that in your mind whenever you're going through, hard times. And then you can incorporate other stuff like, you tapping the knee, and all type of other things you can try while you're picturing it because once it's not necessarily distraction when you do these things. It's essentially like you're in a state of like just presentness and just, you just focus on something outside of your negative thoughts. Meditation is known as a great alternative medicine. It helps lower your blood pressure, stress, lowers heart rates, helps with pain, helps with balance, helps with joy, and eases certain mental issues like I talked about with you guys earlier. With the sharpness and clarity from meditating, this can be, great for work, your family or your interactions, school, your passions, and whatever other activities that you are engaged in. Paying attention is hard in society due to technology, work, entertainment. We have so much overload in society, so much overstimulation, especially and then with social media, even with adults, you just consume and scrolling all day, or you trying to catch up with the latest news, like Shade Room, for example. You just caught up in all the news, just scrolling for days. You're just overly distracted. You need to be able to limit the stimulation, have a model of the stimulation. Even like you binge watching Netflix all day, or you in large crowds all the time. Now, these certain qualities can be good for certain personality types, like people who are spontaneous or sensitive. It can be good because it makes them feel good to be stimulated. But we all know it's a level of regulation that comes with these certain things. So everything you gotta be well in the middle to do well. For example, but mindfulness meditation, for example, can help us be more present, learn to slow down in our lives, and expand our awareness either inward or externally, because these stress and bad experiences easily contribute to negative emotions and thoughts, and being conscious of it, managing it, and monitoring it will allow us to regulate ourselves and be more in control of our positive states and be able to move forward with more clarity and more stability. Meditation can enhance your therapy, your therapist session. It also can help with any addictions, any trauma, any mental issues and grief. Now, if you have these issues on severe levels and you know that, you definitely need to speak with someone about it and not just go off a video on YouTube. But I am well known, well aware, educated, and qualified in many areas of these fields that I'm talking about. But for your sake, you want to keep doing your research, keep understanding yourself, and when you want to apply certain techniques and tips in your life, you also want to do more research on it and get more information on it, whether that be online or from another person, or go into a professional too if you want to do that. Make sure you don't just go off one word. You try to get as much information as you can, and then you apply it and execute it. Meditation allows us to build self-love, helps either relationships, actions within ourselves, our purpose, and it helps with goals and achieving things in life. Meditation helps overcome the material world and helps us to transcend the material world. And that basically not mean from a philosophical, spiritual background. It's basically saying that sometimes we can't be caught up in all the possessions, lifestyle, the fame, the stimulation, the accumulation of all these things. Sometimes we just need to be in a simplistic state, a minimalistic state, and just allow ourselves to just be immersed in not only our physical human bodies, but then our mind. And we can go into the aspect of if you believe in higher powers, souls, connected with source, universe. I like to engage with the mindset of our consciousness being infinite, being connected. It helps with grounding as well. So whatever if you want to add certain beliefs to it, you definitely can. It definitely is beneficial and definitely helps. So I do encourage you guys to partake in these activities if they help benefit you and they are positively benefiting you and not degenerating you. Now, when it comes to meditation, you should prepare for it. It doesn't have to be a ground preparation, but I do recommend some level of preparation for it. It makes the process easy, makes it more intentional. So you don't want to just randomly pop up, oh, let me just get this meditation out the way. No, you want to go into it with some level of intention. Hey, I'm going to meditate. I'm going to put everything aside. Even if it's 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever it may be. It may be at nighttime. I definitely recommend it morning time, nighttime to help. You can do it midday, however your schedule looking, whatever you do. You got to do it anywhere. It doesn't have to be in your room. It doesn't have to be at home. It doesn't have to be in nature. It can be at your work desk, it could be in the bathroom, it could be when you're walking, it could be in the car, it could be anything. It doesn't have to be in a certain specific place. For example, then you have instruments, the famous singing bowls, because music does have various implications on our body, because our brain does detect sound waves and all these electromagnetic fields. Our brain and our nervous system is electric, so we can see how that makes sense. We have certain regions of the body that you see the effects from this will be like the temporal lobe, the nucleus accumbens, and all these are areas associated with hormones and our body regulation. And making a sacred space is important. Like, I like to make my room feel like a safe space, so it allows me a place to come back to, unwind to, a place to feel safe in, a place to comfort in. Now, I know many people financially struggling, or they may have the finances, but the people there, or it could be so many things outside of people or finances too. But whatever situation you're in, find a place. That place doesn't even have to be inside. It could be just like the park around the street, like somewhere where you can feel safe at. It gotta be somewhere near you, whether it's your home, a park, nature, beach, river, someone else's place. Like somewhere gotta be a safe place for you, regardless of your status or situation. I'm not a rich person here. I'm here in my college apartment suite. I'm able to manage and do what I need to do in a whole different country. You can make certain things work. So that's what I can say. You gotta make it intentional, make it sacred, and make it enjoyable. Aromatherapy helps. Different candles. All of these plays roles. In our frontal lobe. Our frontal lobe is responsible for these regulation of our modern human behaviors. We know the back of the brain, cerebellum is more. The cerebellum and the brainstem is more like animalistic, so that's the brain that reacts in those quick fight or flight states. We see the activation of adrenaline and cortisol and all that. But another aspect that we hear often is the third eye. So I like you see me do videos, you see me put the light beams from my eye, and then a lot of people, you see images where they put the cyclops eye and stuff like that. But we all know like based on spiritual and historian stuff like that, but we all know with science-based evidence, we all know that the pineal gland isn't something that's calcified and you block it and then you're not conscious, and then it's a source of meditation, a source of consciousness. There is no proven source of consciousness. We know that the brain, without a brain, there is no consciousness, but there is no specific actual gland or organ in the brain that has been identified as consciousness by anyone, well, not yet. Now, there has been certain areas that could be where consciousness stems from. People say the consciousness is in the cerebral cortex, but the cerebral cortex is a large area, but there's no singularity point that identifies it. But it's definitely not been proven to be the pineal gland. The pineal gland is what helps with say melatonin and hormones like that. So it usually helps with circadian rhythm and sleep and stuff like that, and it's deep into the brain, and it's only one of it. But that doesn't indicate anywhere as a source of meditation, awareness and consciousness. That has nothing to do with that. If so, what it had to do with that, regulating ourselves, consciousness would be our frontal lobe and our cerebral cortex. And I explained the cerebral cortex is like the advanced part of the human brain. It's where we have all our intellect, our knowledge, our intelligences. And then the frontal lobe is where we have problem solving, reasoning, regulation ourselves, the logical aspect of the brain that has evolved and been developed over centuries. So that's truly where you have your sense of consciousness from. So that's really your third eye. So when I do that, I don't do it from a pineal gland standpoint. I do it from frontal lobe, cerebral cortex point of view. And because we know the mind is power. The mind is essentially limitless, as they say, when it comes to thinking. Because yes, the brain is defined to a certain level of weight and space and matter, but our thoughts and everything essentially can be limitless in a technical way, especially when it comes to energy and stuff like that. That's definitely an aspect of infinite source of energy. Then you have certain postures. Some people, if you like to be walking, standing, laying down, cross-legged, typical meditation, other poses, doing yoga poses, whatever that may be. Find what works for you. None is proven to be better than the other. Everything is definitely easy for proof. Then we have meditation has many purposes, of course. We have meditation, people do it to ground themselves, people do to be more relaxed and calm, people do it for mindfulness or consciousness, people do it for healing, people do it for movement, people do it for a source of love or intimacy, people do it for finding solutions or insight, people do it for manifesting or for setting goals, and people also do it for being connected, whether that be to themselves, another person, or quote unquote higher power. Deep breathing is powerful meditation. Is probably one of the best meditations out there. Has so many actual scientific evidence and spiritual based teachings, as well as so many like health benefits for our nervous system, cardiovascular system, and endocrine system. But basically many parts, lymphatic system, even respiratory system, has so many benefits. Not only that, it helps get rid of certain toxins. It releases stuff out of the body, allows oxygen flow into the body, because oxygen is vital for our brain and other organs to function optimally, and our cells to be able to regenerate and recreate themselves. But deep breathing, once you breathe in and out, you have many variations to it. You can breathe in, hold for 4 seconds. That's the typical one. Breathe out for 4 seconds. And you have one where you just do it alternate. Then you have ones where you just do it from the stomach. There's all types of forms you can do it. But the best ways to do it is, of course, you make sure your back is straight, your posture's up. You engage your diaphragm. You engage your chest. You make sure your back and your shoulders are relaxed. And you do it through the nostrils. You don't want to breathe through your mouth, because you're not supposed to breathe into your mouth. Your mouth is meant for eating and vomiting and that kind of stuff. Your nose is meant for taking in, because your nose has certain receptors, neurological receptors, and it has other lymphatic and immune receptors in it that helps, like filters out a lot of germs and negative stuff in the air that passes through the nostrils. But you don't have those same receptors in the mouth. So when you're breathing through the mouth, you notice that your throat gets dry when you're breathing through your mouth, or too much air gets in, but it has no sense of filter. You have no filter in the mouth to be doing it. That's why it's best to do it through the nostril, and then it will go down your trachea into your lungs, and then you do like that. And what it does is it resets your autonomic nervous system, and your autonomic nervous system comprises of 2 systems, and the system you want to activate in the autonomic system is the parasympathetic, which allows your brain to release certain chemicals like prolactin and dopamine and endorphins and all these stuff that puts your body in a calm state and a relaxed state. When I say calm and relaxed, I don't mean like lazy, drowsy. I mean like you're just in a state of where you're either present, you're either joyful, or you're either more in a clear state of mind, and you can regulate your behaviors way more effectively. And you have nature. Nature is a more form of external, but you can also crisscross external and internal while in nature. Other great benefits. And it also helps with so many things, with interactions, like helps you like with listening and engaging, being more present, your toning of voice, your regulation, your engagement, your confidence, so many other things that can come from it. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll have more videos coming out here in the near future. Hope you guys begin a meditation practice if you haven't already, and if you do, continue to work on it or incorporate new ones. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Check out my new book with some more meditation tools in it. Hope you guys have a great day, great week. Let's be great. Peace and love.
Guys, thank you for tapping in with the Nature King. We are everything nature, everything health, everything wellness, everything spirituality, everything science, math, knowledge, wisdom, education, elevation, vision, business, success, growth, wealth. We are into all of these aspects, and we encourage you guys to continue to tap in with us, continue tapping with me, the Nature King, and continue to tap in with all my social platforms. We can get you tuned in. I have tons of books here. I Am a World of Fruit. Some great books you guys should get a hand of. I also wrote these books as well. have my e-commerce platform here. You can just use it on your laptop, on your phone, whatever. Get access to hundreds of wellness products. I have crystals up there, I have books up there, I have aromatherapy, I have lights, I have anything you need in the health and wellness category. Continue to tap in with Nature King. Continue to like, subscribe, share all of my videos. Put a lot of work in these videos to get you guys not only the knowledge, but the wisdom and the education to not only better your health, but better your mind, better your body, and better your spirit.